And alright guys, what is going on? Welcome back to another video on the self-developed YouTube channel, the best men's channel on YouTube, no cap. Besides, of course, the man Jesus, who is the ultimate self-development YouTuber. I kind of make a joke about that, which I shouldn't, but you get what I'm talking about. We are all merely his servants, middlemen, propagating that message for real masculinity and development, is that's what built our entire world, whether you'd like to believe it or not. Anyways, though, guys, with that said, in today's video, we're speaking of, or I believe I titled it, is how the self-development industry here on YouTube is lost. Now, maybe I put a famous YouTuber as a thumbnail. Again, I have nothing against these guys. If I did put Hamza, maybe I did, maybe I didn't. I have nothing bad to say about any of these men. They've done an amazing job at growing this community as a whole, whatever you want to call it on YouTube. But we've definitely entered, and why I feel an obligation to make this video is we've entered a crossroad here in the world where you as men, as viewers, you really need to choose and decide where you stand, right? What I'm talking about, guys, I was with my pastor the other day, and it was funny because I told him, right, like I'm a self-development YouTuber, and he himself even kind of like frowned at that word, and I wasn't sure why. And now I'm beginning to see, guys, that word self-development really is a extremely loose, vague term. If you think about it, guys, the problem with that, self-development, or really anything that is not black and white, I'm going to go pretty extreme here, guys. Let's be practical. Really hear me out on this. If something is not black and or white, yes or no, it by definition lies in interpretation, correct? It's subjective. Self-development is subjective, right? How do I know this? Well, because one day, a self-development YouTuber, and I'm speaking of my former self, guys, right? The video is related back to me as well. We may make videos on taking cold showers. Then it may be onto nofap. Then it may be speak to women like this. But next month, it'll be a complete contradiction. And if you notice, guys, the reason I'm making this video, and it's kind of like an encouragement to the community, if any are watching this channel, you know, self-development YouTubers out there, I encourage you to start coming back to some level of objective, undeniable truth. Whatever that means to you. Maybe that's the Quran, in your opinion. In my opinion, that's the Bible. That's biblical truth, which never changes. It has never changed. It will never change, despite what individuals say. The Bible has not been corrupt. That's a lie. A lot of Muslims will, or even atheists will kind of propagate. We have the Dead Sea Scrolls, which confirm the original manuscripts from over 2,000 years ago. But that's besides the point. A lot of these self-development YouTubers, they're building their house upon the sand. And the reason I say that this is an issue is because when trials come, or when trends come, these men switch up their content. This is what self-development is. And if I'm being honest with myself, this is really what it was for myself. I wasn't really speaking of any objective truth. I was merely just expressing my experiences based off subjective realities, right? Hey, my girlfriend broke up with me. Here's what I did. You know, I was in a depression. Here's what I did. I was, speaking to these women, and here's a quick tip I gained, right? Now, I'm not saying that's bad, right? Because, of course, life really is an amalgamation of our experiences, which is, that's key, that's necessary in a man's development, and we are still compelled to share our experiences, and I will share my experiences with you guys. But where I'm going with this at the end of the day, guys, is as men in particular, if your experiences are not co-aligned with some definitive truth, I believe it is susceptible to leading yourself and the men you are coaching, being a YouTuber, down a wrong path. So this takes kind of an open mind to understand what I'm saying here. And I want to make it clear, I have no beef with these men. I think what they're doing as well as what I did was with a pure heart. But it still leaves room for corruption. If these YouTubers, and this is actually kind of why I no longer kind of identify myself with a self-development YouTuber. Yes, the brand is self-developed, but that in and of itself is really Christ-based. This is almost I want to say a biblical channel with I guess a sprinkle of self-development. And the reason I believe God has done that for myself is because, and I'm going to express some direct benefits and kind of my takeaway to you guys. The reason I think God has moved me in that direction is because for the first time in my life, everything that I've kind of been through, my subjective experiences, are now being rooted in something. I don't care what that is for you. Maybe it's a different religion or a different book, but something that never changes. Something that has never changed. And do you know how powerful that is? To align your direct experience, which is subjective, to an objective truth. What do I mean by objective? It has not changed. This is the Bible. Maybe that's the Quran for you, which I don't recommend, but maybe it is. Maybe that's... I'm going to be brutally honest with you guys. That's really it at the end of the day. You have Christianity, you have Islam, or you have atheism / secularism / New Age spirituality. And those are kind of the three prominent paths that I see today. And whether you believe it or not, you fall into one of those categories. What I'm recommending you, as well as these big YouTubers with a lot of influence, is to choose your side. And now the reality is these men have chosen their side, and maybe they're aware of it, maybe they're not. And all I'm encouraging these men to do, or really for you as viewers to do, is to be aware of what side that is. You see, I have no problem if you choose to be atheist or Muslim or Hindu or whatever that may be. But I really do believe it's for us as YouTubers. It is our job to be very open and boldly claim what that is to lead our viewers. Right? Now, I'll be honest with you. I think if it is not of the Bible, if it is not of this objective truth, which has not changed and it's built our entire West, I can give you a multitude of reasons why I believe it is the most objective and practical truth opposed to any other faith or way of living the world. The reason I'm pushing this is because I've noticed without this objective truth to be rooted and anchored in, I, as well as these men or you, will be subject to negative influence. You'll be subject to trends. You'll be subject to merely views, your subjective experience, what you think is best. And the problem with that, my friend, is you do not know what is best. I do not know what is best. That's why I'm leaning on something, on truths bigger than myself, mentors, prophecies. Because you, my friend, as a YouTuber, a self-development YouTuber who I'm speaking to, although your experience is valid to you, we actually know nothing. And I just want to be careful that a lot of these men who look up to you know what they're looking up to. You and I are merely men, and we are sinners, and we will all and have fallen short. We will make egoic decisions that merely benefit ourselves, myself included. So we have to auto-regulate ourselves and check ourselves, ground ourselves in an objective truth. Do you understand? So that's really it at the end of the day, guys. Again, I have no beef with the self-development community as a whole. I've just come to realize that it's very wishy-washy. Certain men or YouTubers will make videos on one topic, but then completely contradict themselves the next and continue to do so, possibly without knowing. And that's very dangerous. Because it sets you and I up as men, even let's keep it very practical here, it sets us up on a very faulty, loose foundation. You don't actually know what to think anymore. One thing I'm trying to really pervade with this channel is that no matter what, my message is staying the same. It will not change, whether views are high, whether they're low, whether I'm feeling happy, sad, arrogant, I have a lot of money, I don't have a lot of money, this trend is really popular, this trend isn't. The truth, the underlying bedrock does not change. This is crucial for a man's development because without it, you will feel insecure. So that's basically it. This is a bit of a tricky video to comprehend or explain as I haven't seen anyone else make this. And I think it's time for us to change this self-development community. I plan to be that change to, help the best I can, to bring it full circle here. I realize the reason these men, are not coming to objective truths. I think maybe it's just they're not at that point in their own evolution. But I think if we're honest with ourselves, it's because of the comfort. It's very uncomfortable for individuals to boldly claim that this is my objective truth, because that will be polarizing. And I don't think it's very masculine for these YouTubers to claim to be these leaders, yet don't actually stand for anything. I think there are a lot of wolves in sheep's clothing, and it is my obligation as someone who is in this community. I'm not saying I'm any better than you guys, or I'm just a sinner like all of you. This is why I'm leaning on something. I believe it is my responsibility to let you guys know that these men are just as confused as you are. I know nothing. We know nothing. Maybe we've been through some stuff, but that subjective experience will not be enough. And we need to root it in something bigger than ourselves. So that's that. Calling out all other self-development YouTubers, whatever that name even means. It's time for you guys to own up and to start boldly claiming certain things, opposed to being lukewarm to just appeal to all your subscribers and have all your money and views. I've lost that a long time ago. You know, I couldn't really tell you why. I don't mind being polarizing, because that's what it is to be a man, to actually stand firmly on something. That does not change, because the world will change. And if you're not rooted, you will get swept away with it. Trust me. I think this is why God's doing it. It's kind of like a pre-insurance, because as the world gets crazier, you as men, we as men, will get taken away with it. These YouTubers are able to make what they want now because it's comfortable, but wait till it gets tough. So that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this. No beef to any of the men here. I'm very glad to be part of this community, even though my channel's completely tanked in views because of what I'm telling you. And I have no problem with that. I'm going to stand firm in what I believe with the views I have till my channel skyrockets back. And I hope you as men can hold me accountable to sticking to this objective truth when my channel takes over. That is it. I love you all. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up, comment, and subscribe. And I'll finish it here with the final plugs. If you guys are interested and would like to work with me on a personal level, you know what is up. Being more like Christ, a biblically masculine man, or on a more practical level, improving things like your fitness, business, mindset, and relationships, there's always one-on-one coaching. You guys know what's up. Book yourself a spot below, only for those who are serious. You can support Edge. Coupon code developed. You guys know the plugs. And that's that. I love you all. Check your next video. Ground yourself in an objective truth. I don't care what that is, but choose something. Stop being lukewarm like a leaf blowing in the wind, merely hopping from trend to trend with your subjective experience that unfortunately is faulty because we are all sinners. Do you understand? Thank you. Have an amazing day. Check your next vid. Till then, much love. Peace.